on a daily basis, what you see and experience affects what happens in the studio that day, I think, in ways that are intangible and can't be articulated. And like I just see that little red bird out there in amongst the green, and I'm sure that that's the kind of thing that you don't normally say anything to anybody about, and yet it sticks, and it is like a kind of pinprick. If you came down the studio at any given moment and said, what are you doing? What are you thinking? What's happening? I couldn't tell you. No, I don't have the words. The words would somehow or other not tell the truth. I mean, they wouldn't just not tell the truth, they'd actually somehow or other mislead you.
I walk this environment at least twice a day. I often feel really crowded by the trees because I grew up in more of a vista landscape. I'm constantly trying to walk to the top of the hill and look out. Sometimes I think I started this project because I wanted to come to terms with living here, which is so different from where I grew up, and figure out where we live. What is this place? And what's our relationship to it? If you take a word like stone, you have to really just explore the beauty of that word, the sound of it, all the ramifications of stone through history and mythology, the stone as the corner of the church, the stone walls. Words have so much resonance around them, particularly words that are objects. And so if you start exploring that, you can go almost anywhere. On the beach, I found Brancusi's head. I need to start thinking about words when I'm writing a poem as sound or thing. They become like verbal objects. I need to think about them that way, almost like building blocks or magnets. Because magnets have this power to attract or repel, pull together or push apart. Words are like that.
Starting a watercolor is always very easy. That's not at all a problem. I mean, I just get a piece of white paper and draw a simple shape and then put some color in that shape or around that shape, and then draw another shape in relation to that, some more color, and then from then on it's an endless process, or feels endless. Starting them, is not the problem. It's bringing them to a conclusion that's the problem. And, I don't know which way up they are when I start. I draw a shape within the rectangle, and then at some point I'll turn the whole thing up the other way. It's very addictive. They can look so lovely when they are wet. You're continually wetting the paper and putting color on while the paper's wet so that it soaks in, and then when they dry, they don't look so good. They can look just glorious when they're wet, like putting stones underwater. I will look at them continually, uncertain which way up they should go. And that will be the final decision, often, right towards the end. I will settle on which way up they go, and then that helps resolve them. Although even occasionally it has happened that after I thought they were resolved and knew which way up they went and signed them on the back, I come to photograph them and think, oh, maybe I got it the wrong way up. And that's a dilemma. One's environment is a bit like a kind of onion, I mean, your skin, and then the chair you're sitting in, and then, and it opens up like that. So, eventually we get to the world, and then, but when I mean, just that term, one's environment, is not something that is so easy. I mean, that needs to be kind of opened up. It's a very complex kind of set of circumstances that are interrelated, but it's not a fixed given.
Signals.
He came at night or in the early hours. We were never sure. Always, it was morning when we found the bag glowing white, his mark, his gift, his signal left in the path by the road. He had his rituals, was tidy in his way. The white bag tied neatly at the top as if it were garbage from a picnic, or a bag of clothes he meant to give away. You would not know the bag was bursting with body parts until a coyote or someone's dog ripped open the white plastic, spilling out deer guts and viscera, the lights, now rotting lungs. True, sometimes a leg was left sticking through the top, the dainty black toes on point like a ballerina, but otherwise the bag held secrets. The need to show off was what had scared me. Who, we wondered, would bag up body parts, drive them here? Would I know him if I met him at the store? Each fall I'd find a deer shot and left, head bent back in the ellipse of death, tongue gray and swollen, ribs half gone, chewed out by coyotes. Each day a little more would disappear until scatter of bones, white fluff of fur, all that marked the deer. I took the bags of deer parts personal, until our neighbor said he also had been finding the same white bags always by the road, neatly tied, a hazard for his dogs. Serial deer killer, we tried to laugh, and walked our separate ways, never knowing more about the need to advertise this ritual dismemberment, whether it was a vendetta to change, one man's tribute to a time before houses gnawed their way into these woods, into a man lost in the forest of his life.